I'm Dr. Nihavandian, OBGYN man, 90 years old. I have cancer, and I bought this land. I'm out of breath. I want to let my daughter Bahar talk for me.
Thank you. And Peggy, we'll start that timer at 2 minutes for the daughter.
Hello, my name is Bahar Nehawandian. My parents own a property in Coyote Valley, Morgan Hill area, and I'm actually here to inform you of, basically I'm here for two reasons. To inform you that the code enforcement has been basically bullying, harassing landowners in that area since the beginning of this year. We've been getting exuberant, ridiculous fines, which I don't know how they're coming up with, by the way, ranging from $1,000 to $40,000, depending on what they feel. My parents started getting letters in March, April timeframe stating that they're out of code for having a storage container on this agricultural land where he keeps farming equipment, etc. Obviously, in 2 minutes or less, I can't explain to you that we cannot survive on farming alone any longer. So as property owners, we need to be able to partially rent the land to offset the cost of cutting the weeds and attending to it, the costs it takes for the property taxes, etc. So that's my first point. My second point is we need to figure out a solution to this and possibly coming up with a zoning change for the agricultural area. I know there may be some kind of political agenda behind it with the whole Greenbelt area. However, we need to figure out a solution and work together proactively to find a solution. Thank you for your time, and I just want to let you know we also vote and we also pay our taxes. So that is what I want you guys to share with you today.
Wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
Hi, my name's Dan Perusina. We've been farming in the South Valley since '68. We've quit farming. The rentals have gone, there's no rentals really out there except for maybe hay people. We've got to pay a high property tax. You don't make any money renting the hay or even renting for farming. You guys had come in years ago with this bit about you had all these people that wanted to come farm in our area. We never seen them because you paid a bunch of money to a lady to come in and do a study for you that they could make it like Napa. And now the county's coming in and telling us that, oh, you've got help houses here. You're only allowed 2 houses on the property with the green ag area put in. Well, they've been there for 40 years. How can they all of a sudden they be illegal? He's coming in telling people that we can't find permits on your property, on your buildings and stuff, so you've got to redo a permit. And all it is just a bunch of harassment about what you can and can't have. We've got to get rid of containers. We've got areas that aren't farmable. We've got trucks parked on them, which helps the city and the county out because they're not parking out on the street because there's nowhere for these guys to go. And we need you guys to put some kind of change in to make it more applicable for us to be able to make some money with our property and still be able to keep parts in farming. And you're going to find a lot of areas out there that don't even have water for guys to come in and farm it. The only thing they're good for is going to be raising hay. And at $50 to $75 an acre, you're not making any money to pay your taxes with. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Fabrizio Lunardi. I own a property on Coyote Valley called Coyote Valley Hay Farm. I bought the property 2 years ago with the intent of doing agricultural business there. After I purchased the property, I brought some farm equipment, materials to my property, and I start to do the operations there. And I start to receive visitors from the county, code enforcement, saying that my containers and my vehicles could not be parked in my property, all sorts of things, including I put some base rock for us to drive inside of the property because a very difficult thing to do when it was raining in the winter. We got trucks stuck there all the time, so we put some base rock, and I got violation for that. And since so, I'm having a hard time with the county, trying to figure out how I can run my business. I stock and I buy and sell hay from local producers. It has been a challenge for me to keep my business running in the county because it seems that every step that I take, they come and they cut me off. I said, you have to take your containers out of the property, but you cannot put your containers in any other place of Santa Clara County because it's not allowed. You have to move away from our jurisdiction. I said, well, that makes it very difficult for me because I use this to put farm equipment, farm material, my grains, my product to sell as a storage. That's what I keep my family, that's my way of living. And it has been closed doors everywhere. I have been to the county several times, and I never get a definite answer. I read the whole code trying to see where shipping containers are not allowed in the property, and I couldn't find anywhere. And I went to talk to them, and it seems they are also confused with all the regulation. I want to express my point here, and I'm also a voter, and I pay taxes in the county.
Thank you.
Good morning, Soups. I've been in this building before. You recognized our family for many years of foster care that we performed for the county. Today, it's 30 years. My wife is an attorney. She donates almost all her time. She works pro bono for foster parents, handling educational issues, all the foster care issues, adoptive issues, etc. The other morning, we woke up. We had 13 vehicles on our street, 3 sheriff's vehicles, 4 animal control. We had county council, we had code enforcement, 3 of those. We had zoning, we had planning, we had building, we had environmental health, and we even had vector control. And what they were after, they had gotten a warrant, and this they called a raid. And I had never seen a raid before. I don't know if you know that. You guys perform raids. Your enforcement division performs raids on properties. And our sin was that we had people living in trailers on our property. My daughter, her husband, and 2 grandchildren live in 2 trailers because we could not get permits to construct a granny unit on our property. Why not? Because the property that we bought had old chicken coops on it, which were too large, and so we were in violation of a code. And anytime you have a violation, you cannot get a permit. We finally got everything cleared up. We thought we were ready to go, and we go in with the chance at building something, and they say, sorry, you first got to go through environmental health and get your septic system redone before you do anything else. And so my daughter, son-in-law, after 4 years, they just moved up to Portland, Oregon. They left us. So now I have 4 county children in my home and a wife with Alzheimer's. And you decide to descend on me with a raid. I find 3 other neighbors immediately, one adjacent, one across the street, one just down the street. Each one of them had the same kind of raid on their property.
Thank you. You're Mr. Rapp?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, I'm being fined between $35,000 and $44,000 per day until violations are corrected.
Thank you. And for all the speakers here, we have the Director of Planning and Development who's hearing all of this, taking whatever notes, talking with her staff, directing her staff. So although we can't respond, because public comment is not a time when we can respond, it's not an agendized item, I wanted you all to know you're being heard, notes are being taken, and there'll be subsequent action. Please go ahead.
My name is Jason Wan. I think I'm also one of the neighbor. We have almost 200 to 300 neighbors have similar problem. And I'm new to this country. 5, 6 years ago, we were planning to do farming in the Coyote Valley. And then we couldn't find any tenants, so we rented for free to a nonprofit organization. And they come in and then they squat in one of our house. They don't pay any rent. They use all the electricity, everything. And then we have to pay thousands of dollars for them to the attorney to ask them to leave. And then until now, the land is still empty. And then we have another greenhouse, 140,000 square feet, maybe one of the biggest greenhouses in the Coyote Valley. For many years, we tried to rent, and in the end, we rent to 3 families. And we didn't know what they were doing. And then about 3 months later, there's a raid. Actually, they were growing. 2 of them were growing marijuana, and then the county come in, they damage everything, and we asked for compensation. We didn't get anything. They say because they're doing something illegal, and we don't know about I don't even know what is marijuana. So that the building now, the greenhouse is all empty. We couldn't find anybody to rent the space. And then we rented some space for people parking, and then the county enforcement coming about half a year ago start fining everybody, start fining us for $3,000 to $8,000 per violation. And we understand the county want to keep this place nice and clean as a greenbelt, but we are property owner. If county do this with the open space, that's fine. But we, as a property owner, we have the right we have to make income to pay the tax to make a living. So hope that county, I have a petition letter. We have 130
Thank you, sir.
people.
You can leave it right there. The clerk will pick it up.
Okay.
That concludes the speaker cards that we have for public comment. We now move on to item number 3, which is approval of the consent calendar. Today's agenda includes items 9 through 16 currently on consent. Supervisor Simidian?
Happy to move